Time for an update on business news now on the programme. Japan's economy has shrunk in the first quarter of this year as COVID restrictions and surging commodity prices have really weighed on consumers. As you can see, Yuka's joining us here on set. She's got a lot more on that, Yuka.
Well, Stuart, Japan's economic recovery from the pandemic has been somewhat weaker than other major economies. And now fresh data shows GDP in the first 3 months of this year shrunk 0.2% from the previous quarter, or at an annualised rate of 1%. That period corresponds to when restaurants once again had to operate at limited capacity because of the spread of the Omicron variant. Surging commodity prices also weighed on businesses. Personal spending accounts for over half of Japan's GDP, and there are increasing worries about stagflation. Tokyo's Nikkei, though, edged up this Wednesday, despite the weak GDP data, as it was still better than expected. Overall, Asian shares, as you can see, a mixed bag today, with Chinese shares again dropping below the flat line after earlier rising above it in earlier trading. European markets opened pretty flat, London opening on a weaker note as inflation in the UK rose to a record 9% in April, up from 7% in March, but still in line with expectations. As the global economy recovers from the pandemic, businesses are facing staff shortages, with unemployment dropping to multi-decade lows in the US and Britain. Here in France, though, the jobless rate remained almost stable in the first quarter at 7.3%. Some sectors are struggling to hire people. In Dunkirk, in the north, steel giant ArcelorMittal is offering cash incentives to employees who bring in good candidates. Leo McGuinn has more.
530 positions that need to be filled in this factory in northern France, and a €500 bonus for every employee that recruits a family member, a strategy to try and attract candidates that are proving hard to find.
Moi, j'ai regardé avec mes proches, mais personne n'est dans le corps de métier où je suis. On a beaucoup de machines, mais on n'est pas beaucoup. Par exemple, moi, je suis en 2-8 et on n'est plus que 2 dans notre équipe.
Among the roles that need to be filled, 2/3 are operating or technician jobs in production and maintenance. A vast recruitment campaign that so far has been insufficient in filling the gaps.
On est en sous-effectif dans tous les services de l'usine. Je vous dis, c'est des conditions de travail qui se dégradent de plus en plus. Donc ça va aider, mais ça va pas combler l'intégralité des chaises vides, quoi. Tout simplement, c'est qu'on va revenir à une situation avant Covid.
On the other hand, the residents of Dunkirk are optimistic. It's here that the highest level of recruitment is expected.
On est une région où il y a un taux de chômage qui est assez conséquent et je pense que ça pourrait intéresser beaucoup de personnes qui sont justement à la recherche d'un emploi, oui.
According to a director at the government's unemployment agency in Dunkirk, the industrial sector is becoming less and less attractive.
C'est lié aux représentations qu'on a autour de ce métier. Et puis, c'est lié aussi au niveau de compétences qui a évolué dans ce secteur d'activité. On a donc effectivement un vivier de candidats. L'enjeu, comme je disais, c'est de les faire monter en compétences pour pouvoir accéder à ces emplois dans le secteur industriel.
In Dunkirk, the number of job offers have risen. Of the 9,000 recruitment projects, 1,500 are in the industrial sector.
The European Commission is set to outline a plan on how to reduce the bloc's reliance on Russian energy. The EU has pledged to cut its purchase of Russian gas by 2/3 by the end of the year and phase out energy imports from the country by 2027. The new plan is expected to have 3 main points: a switch to other sources of import, a faster rollout of renewable energy and more effort to save energy through new laws and non-binding schemes. It's expected to cost €210 billion, and the EU plans to draw money from its Covid-19 recovery fund by reducing the amount spent on fossil fuel. Under the EU's climate targets, Europe's gas demand should drop by 1/3 by 2030. It's also considering setting higher targets to expand renewables to bring their share in the energy mix to 45%. Soaring energy prices continue to hit US drivers. In California, the average price of a gallon of gasoline has risen above $6, the highest on record. The American Automobile Association says that nearly all states are now seeing petrol prices above $4 a gallon, with the national average at $4.48. Netflix has laid off about 150 employees, most of them in the United States. It's also reduced spending on contractors. The job cuts account for about 2% of its North American workforce. The streaming giant is the world's largest, with 222 million subscribers in 190 countries. But increasing competition in the market has led to a decline in its subscribers. Last month, the company said it had lost 200,000 paying customers in the first 3 months of this year, and 2 million more could go by the summer.
Not
I don't know
news
if you
for
watch
Netflix.
Netflix or if you watch streaming.
Very
services.
rarely, I have to be honest, very occasionally. Some of the things are good, but not often enough.
Not all of them.
No. Thanks very much, Yuka. Yuka with the business on France 24.